Well, Charley Clifford now holds the record amount of appearances for Charlton Athletic Women. You must have an immense amount of pride, seeing as you gave her her debut at the age of 16.
Yeah, yeah, I am. I'm incredibly proud. It's an absolutely magnificent achievement because breaking a record means that you're consistent in terms of steering clear of injury, in terms of performance, in terms of the standard of performance. And if you consider with women's football, if you chart how it's changed from when I was manager to now, the turnover of players, the resources, which means you can actually afford better players, and she has maintained a place in the side. And that tells you how good a player she is.
And what did you envisage for Charley when you gave her that debut at the age of 16?
That she'd be a superstar. Simple as that. I watched her play. She played, I think, for our under 16s. And when you look at players, because I was a technical director, you look at players and you say, right, she will fit perfectly in the team that I'm looking to put together because she had all the attributes and wonderfully gifted, beautifully balanced, could strike a ball well, read the game well. Daft as a brush, though. Honestly, off the pitch, she was so funny, but on the pitch, she was what I would call a proper footballer. She was, and she was a favourite of mine in terms of how she played. Yeah. Sometimes as technical director, it's about finding the right time. But she was ready to play for my first team when she was an under 16, but I couldn't do it. That's probably the best accolade I could give her.
And she's overtaken another one of your former players for the record in Kim Dixon. What does that sort of say about the loyalty that these players have got to Charlton?
Well, they're two rare players, to be truthfully honest. They are. They love the club and they love everything about the club. I mean, Kim is quite rightly a legend. She was absolutely fantastic for me, and probably the best captain that I've had and played with, and had in and around, just for the influence that she had and how she led people on the pitch. And she's great for Charley because they struck up a really good partnership. But again, I look at Charley and I think she's still got a long way to go as well. She's broken a record and she's not done yet. And, she's going to push that record, and it's going to be very, very difficult in this climate and the way football is for anyone to get near breaking it.
And have you got any sort of last words for Charley? Any messages for Charley?
Yeah, congratulations and well done. And, you're everything I thought you would be in a player. You should have played for England, just so as you know. I'm telling you that. But I'm so proud to have given you the opportunity. Well, you grasped it with both hands. You literally, your performances told me that you should be in the first team. And your performances since then have always kept you in the side. And I'm so pleased to have been part of that journey. And been around when you've managed to stay on your feet. Because Charley went through this spell in training where she would fall over at the drop of a hat. No, there was no blade of grass, there was no ball, nothing near her, and she'd fall over. The other players would tell you. But apparently, with age and maturity, has come balance, and she can stay on her feet now, which is magnificent. But for me, I love her to death. She's a wonderful player and a really good person as well. A really giving person who cares. She cares about the club, but she cares about all the other players around her, and she's a giver. And I'm so pleased that she's broken this record. But I feel sorry for anyone who thinks they're going to get close to it, because she's got a lot left in her legs, and she's going to push it into a place where no one's going to get near it. And I'm so pleased and proud to have had her in my side.